Hi there, I'm Emma.
And I'm Leo. Welcome to EP Learning English, the place where your English becomes part of your everyday life.
So let me ask you a fun question. Do you want to talk about your day in English from the moment you wake up to the time you go to bed?
Imagine being able to describe your routine, your work, your free time, all in simple, natural English.
Well, guess what? That's exactly what we'll help you do in today's episode.
Whether you're just starting out or you want to review common phrases, this is the perfect way to practice.
And before we start, don't forget to subscribe to EP Learning English, like this episode, and share it with your friends who are also learning.
Ready to turn your daily life into English practice?
Let's go. So, Leo, let's start with the morning. What's the first thing you usually do when you wake up?
Well, I usually wake up around 6:30. The first thing I do is stretch a little and smile, even if I'm still sleepy.
A morning smile. That's a great habit. I usually wake up at 7, and the first thing I do is check the time on my phone.
And then, do you jump out of bed right away?
Not always. I take a minute or two to breathe deeply and set my intention for the day. Then I get out of bed and head straight to the bathroom.
Same here. I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, wash my face, and sometimes splash cold water to wake myself up properly.
Nice! Brush my teeth and wash my face. Those are two very useful verbs in English.
Absolutely. And don't forget, get out of bed is a great phrase too. It's different from wake up. You can wake up and still be lying down. But when you get out of bed, that's when the day really begins.
Yes! So after the bathroom, I go to the kitchen to make breakfast. Nothing fancy, just a coffee and toast most mornings.
Classic. I'm a tea person. I make black tea with a bit of milk and usually eat cereal or fruit, maybe a banana or an apple.
Sounds like a healthy start. After breakfast, I get dressed. I usually pick my outfit the night before, so it saves me time.
Practically smart. I sometimes change outfits twice before I leave, but yes, get dressed is another key verb for morning routines.
After I get dressed, I pack my bag, put on my shoes, and if it's cold, I grab my coat.
Explaining. Outdoor Issues is really into explaining. Let's repeat some of these useful verbs. Wake up, get out of bed, brush your teeth, wash your face, make breakfast, get dressed, put on shoes, grab your coat. These are all part of a typical morning routine in English.
And you, dear listener, what about you? Try thinking about your morning in English. What time do you wake up? What do you do first? What do you eat for breakfast?
You can even pause this podcast and say your answers out loud or write them down. It's a great way to practice.
And remember, it's okay if you make mistakes. This podcast is a safe space for learning and trying.
Definitely. We're here to help you feel more confident, step by step. So, Emma, once we're done with breakfast and dressed for the day, it's time to head out, right?
Yep. Most days, I leave the house around 8. I put on my shoes, grab my bag, and go to work.
Same here. I leave a little earlier, around 7:30, because I walk to my office. It's about a 20-minute walk, which I actually enjoy.
Oh, that's great. I usually take the bus, so I listen to music or podcasts, sometimes in English, during the ride.
That's a smart way to get more English into your day. Even 10 minutes of listening can make a big difference.
So true. All right, let's talk about what we usually do at work. I start by turning on my computer and checking my emails.
Same here. I sit at my desk, open my laptop, and go through my task list. I also make a quick plan for the day.
That's a nice expression, sit at my desk. It's something many people do, especially in office jobs or while studying.
And then we have check emails, write reports, attend meetings, all very common phrases.
At my job, I also have to talk to my colleagues. Sometimes we have short meetings to plan projects or solve problems together.
My meetings are usually online, so I use headphones and join Zoom calls. I say things like, "Can you hear me?" or "Let's share the screen."
Classic phrases for online work life. For learners, it's helpful to practice those short, useful sentences. They really boost your confidence.
And you, listener, what do you do during your day? Do you go to school, to work? Do you study from home?
Try thinking in English. In the morning, I go to school. I sit in class, I listen to the teacher, I write notes. Or I work in a store, I help customers, I answer questions, I clean the shelves.
Whatever your day looks like, you can describe it in simple English. Start with small phrases. Say them out loud. Use your real life.
Let's review some useful verbs from this part. Go to work, take the bus, walk to the office, sit at my desk, turn on the computer, check emails, write reports, have a meeting, talk to colleagues, help customers, study at school, take notes.
And remember, you don't have to use big, complicated sentences. You can say, I go to work, I check emails, I write a report. That's already great English.
And as you get more comfortable, you can add more details. For example, I work in a small company. I usually start at 9 a.m. I write emails and help my team.
You can pause now and try to describe your day out loud. We're not listening, so don't be shy.
So, Leo, after a long day of work or study, it's finally time to go home. What's the first thing you do when you get home?
Honestly, I kick off my shoes, drop my bag, and just breathe. I love that quiet moment when I finally sit down on the sofa.
Same here. I like to change into something comfortable, like pajamas or soft clothes, and then just relax for a bit.
Sometimes I lie down on the couch and listen to soft music, or I watch a little bit of TV. Nothing serious, just something fun or relaxing.
What do you usually eat for dinner?
I usually cook something quick and easy, pasta, a rice dish, or maybe soup. I like warm food in the evening.
Me too. I often make a salad or a sandwich, and sometimes I try new recipes. Cooking helps me relax.
Let's go over some of these evening verbs. Get home, take off your shoes, change clothes, relax, listen to music, watch TV, cook dinner, have dinner, wash the dishes.
After dinner, I usually clean up the kitchen, wash the dishes, wipe the table. Then I like to read a little, a book or something online.
That's great. I sometimes video call a friend or talk with my family. It helps me feel connected after a busy day.
Around 10 or 11, I start getting ready for bed. I brush my teeth, wash my face again, and maybe do some light stretching before sleep.
Same here. I try not to use my phone too much before bed. I like to keep things calm. Then I go to bed and usually fall asleep pretty quickly.
More good verbs to know. Go to bed, brush your teeth, get ready for bed, fall asleep.
And here's a great idea. Try to describe your evening routine in English, even if it's just 5 sentences.
You can say something like, in the evening, I eat dinner, wash the dishes, read a book, and go to bed at 10:30.
That's simple, clear, and real English. Great for practice.
So today, we talked about your whole day, morning, afternoon, and evening.
And we learned so many useful verbs and phrases you can use to talk about your life in English.
Remember, your daily routine is the perfect place to start practicing English. Use what you do every day to grow your skills.
And if you make mistakes, that's okay. That's how learning works.
Thank you so much for listening today. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to EP Learning English, like the episode, and leave a comment telling us about your day in English.
We'd love to hear from you. And we'll be back soon with more real English for real life.
See you next time, and keep practicing.